Double Trader here, and this is a New York Open pre-market review. So the context was basically sticking with the higher time frame narrative that was in play basically. And with that said, I was willing to look for and aim for smooth areas of buy-side liquidity and old highs intraday as potential targets / draws on liquidity. So that was my basically go-to idea and bias going into today's trading. And jumping straight into the actual session here, we can see that the relative equal highs, the clean buy side that was outlined, I was utilizing a bullish inversion from value gap to get a run above those relative equal highs and possibly get a continuation towards the London high buy side liquidity. But after price swept the highs very politely, it quickly rejected, and that was not something I wanted to see. That was actually somewhat of a red flag / warning sign for me. And basically since then the price action was really unruly here on the 1 minute. It was pretty fuzzy, it was pretty sloppy, and we actually experienced a manual intervention few times this pre-market. So I personally stayed off. I stay out. I identified this session as low probability, and I didn't want it to entice or encourage taking risk in this environment. So here we can see the manual intervention running the buy side liquidity with that wick. It was literally like, I don't know, a couple seconds of up and down 50 handles. So that was pretty interesting there. Nonetheless, there was really nothing clean provided afterwards. So I was waiting, reading price, annotating salient points. I saw that clean relative equal lows that could have been targeted, and that was the case. It was the draw. I also annotated the breaker on the 1 minute, bullish breaker, that could possibly cap the downside movement, and it did. That was exactly the low for the pre-market, basically at that breaker. And then I was outlining a little idea, a little scalp potential to run from that inversion after it got inversed here, that CB, into the clean buy side, but related to the bodies of the candles. So that was like a very little scalp type of idea. I didn't traded it, I didn't want to trade it, but I was looking for it to unfold, and it did. So even though it was difficult, it followed the logic and the ideas, so that was nice. And that was basically it for the session here. And the summary, that's the recap or result of that little trade there. Nothing really big in terms of profits. Today I came in with solid expectations regarding the draw on liquidity, so I was looking for higher time frame and mainly focus on going long. However, price was very choppy and imprecise during the pre-market session, not offering clean tradable moves. It wasn't impossible to trade, but I wouldn't feel comfortable executing this with live capital. I did a good job of quickly identifying the warning signs and stepping back, so that was very good on my side. So overall, I would rate today's session as difficult, referring to the pre-market only. Not impossible, but still it was a rather a very micro market structure scalping only, and yeah, it wasn't a low resistance type of day by any means. So this was it for today.